we're going to have a look at some additional data types. So that's arrays and mappings. First, we start here with a struct type. So that's just a type which has multiple subtypes. And over here we see an array which is of the type member, who is public, so it's accessible and has the name list. Then the second thing we have over here is a mapping. So a mapping is kind of an array, but it's not contiguous, but you can have like random members to access the mapping. So in this case it's a mapping from an address to an unsigned integer, and it's called map. And then over here we have a function to add something to both the array and the mapping. So we want to add a variable x. First we define a local variable of the type member, which is in memory, so it's a local variable. Here we assign the value x to the data field of temp. And here we assign the message sender to the sender field. And the message.sender is a general accessible variable which contains the sender of the transaction. Well, here we fill the mapping with as parameter the message sender with the value x. And here we push the variable temp on the array list. So yeah, that array is getting longer and longer. And with this function over here, list length, we can see how long the array is. I've already deployed the contract, so we are going to add a value over here. And then we have to wait a little while until it's ready. Yes, it's ready. So now we can look at the length of the list, and that's of course the one because we've added one value to it. Then we're going to have a look at the list with the key, so the parameter 0, that's the first element. And here we can see it contains two values, the value 44 that we've just added over here, and this one, so this is actually my address. As you can see, that's the same as this one, which I'm going to copy. And now we're going to look at the mapping. So to retrieve the mapping value, you have to put in the address for which you want to check the value. So that's actually the same address as this one. We're going to retrieve it, and we see a value of 44. And if you would put in any other value, well, this one actually isn't correct, but if you would change, for example, this value, it just wouldn't work.